Welcome to Quest. Shut up!
Oh!
And welcome. No, my phone didn't go off. Welcome to Quest for Player 2. I am back, which means the views are gonna skyrocket. This is what I got brought back for, is for the views. So enjoy the show. Enjoy that hashtag Joe. This isn't that hashtag show anymore. It's that hashtag Joe. I am joined by two insignificant people. These two people could be anybody right now. It doesn't matter. It's just focused on me.
That's not
the advice that Joe gives is actually the views of Joseph are not necessarily the views of that hashtag show.
That's right.
Should not be fun.
The views of Joseph skyrocket past any other views of anybody else on this show.
Oh my god.
Anyway, here we go. We're going to talk about some
they only work for Joe.
dating advice, because you come to the master for dating advice. I actually don't even know why I'm on this show.
I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, what?
So I says to myself, they just needed views. They don't care about the content.
Yeah, so
it
I'm just going to walk in.
It all's downhill from here. All right, I'm Joe. Tony's back. I don't know. She was in Texas doing nothing. Whatever.
Florida. How dare you?
You didn't go to Texas at all?
No.
Florida's the worst.
So Florida
How dare you?
It is. I was hoping that you went to Texas.
Listen,
more than
let's be 100% honest. If you can trade, if anybody in this room, if you can trade Florida for Puerto Rico, would you?
Yep.
I would too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
100%.
I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, we're trying to have a Florexit where we just go to Florida and then just.
Hey, to Notre Dame.
Oh man, yeah.
That sucks. That place.
Man, I can't believe it. Like,
I'm glad everybody's okay though. So
yeah,
that's fine. We're fine. It's gonna be fine. The Catholic Church is billions of dollars. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. They'll figure out some way to do something with, the rubble.
We're good.
By the way, guys, I got sick. So enjoy getting sick. I do want to talk about a couple things. How's everybody's week's been? Week? I don't know. I haven't been here in a while. I don't really care.
Oh, well, geez.
I've been gone for 6 months, so.
Oh, we didn't notice actually.
Yeah.
How's everybody else? How's your week been?
Pretty good.
We're gonna let me ask you a question. We talked about this a little bit on Instagram Live.
Yes.
You're not super open about relationships.
I'm not.
Well, this is going to change today.
I know. That's horrifying.
This is going to be like peeling an onion back. Yeah. I almost feel like I don't even want to ask or answer some of the questions that were sent to us and just talk about life as it unfolds.
No. Tony, tell us everything about you.
No, I'm good, man. Let's get to these questions.
No, but you didn't talk about your week. Look at my guns, guys. Anyways, let's talk about your week.
Okay. My best friend came to visit, so had a great time this weekend. Got to go to Saved by the Max, the Saved by the Bell pop-up.
You've been there before?
I have, but she hasn't. She's from New York, so got to do that. Got to do the Game of Thrones pop-up. Went to Beetle House, the Tim Burton bar. We did Dapper Day, so we did a full day at Disney. And
did you go to the Game of Thrones bar now, whatever it's called now?
Scum and Villainy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pop-up. What about you?
Pretty good. I have a new job. I'm a copyright for Vice Land Live, so that's fun.
Vice Land.
Well,
Live?
it's Vice Live, but originally, like on paper, it's still called Vice Land Live, but it's Vice Live.
Why are you wearing a scarf? You a villain?
Yes, it just goes well. Tell the world about everything that's happening. So yeah, busy with that, and then still taking my classes and everything to be an intimacy consultant. So busy.
Is it your herniated disc?
I'm getting comfortable.
Yeah.
Just getting in the mood, setting the tone. You know what I'm saying?
So how about your week?
My week has been terrible. I got snowed in Star Wars Celebration, Chicago. Listen, I like snow. Snow's great. Why does it have to come on the last day when I want to come home? Secondly, first of all, before that even started, I got into a massive car accident. If you go and look at my car, it's super fucked.
Yeah.
My girlfriend fractured her nose.
Oh, no way.
Oh, yeah.
So it is.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Okay.
Oh, yeah. And if I was going to go Instagram Live. She gets so mad when I like Instagram Live and mess around with her with it. She did fracture her nose. I can't see a difference, but she can. Women, you know what I mean? So
we look at ourselves a lot.
That's the best person to give advice, guys.
I am.
He's like women.
I've seen your girlfriend. She's very pretty. I'd be very concerned for my face too if I was that pretty.
Well, you know what sucked even worse?
Did you just see what he did?
Oh
my God! No one's.
What sucked even worse is that I don't know if I have like sometimes you were there in WonderCon when my fucking knuckles swelled up.
Yes.
So my knuckles were swollen and it was like right here. And she had a broken nose, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah. Right.
Nope,
so
that's not
you're
happening.
clearly okay.
She actually did like this weird like karate punch on me today. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, Stephanie? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh,
But she did buy me these dope ass shoes. I'm not gonna show them here. You got on Instagram Live.
Oh, there you go.
Look, she marked it though. She has her initials here, and she has my initials there.
Yeah.
Anyway, round of applause for me.
Oh my god.
All right, let's start talking about this shit that we're here for.
The shiz night.
Daniel Jerome, kick us off.
First question. All right. Well, we got the first question.
By the way,
Uh-huh.
before you even start talking,
Okay.
super chats. How does it work?
Super chats are great.
Actually, let's let Tony explain. She hasn't been here in a while.
No, let's have Daniel do it since I haven't been here for a while, and I think I've forgotten how super chats work.
What?
Yeah, man.
Super chats still the same way they were before. You use the super chat so this way can highlight your comment. As the comments go very fast, and it's sometimes hard for us to be able to see them. And especially now, the show's evolved into more of a listener letter kind of thing. It's kind of hard for us to stop going to listener letters and go to the comments. So use super chat. It'll highlight it. We'll be able to answer your question.
Social media. You know what? If you tweet out this episode right now or put it on Facebook, we will retweet it. We'll hit that retweet button. Get you some more followers.
That's right.
But get some more awareness for the Quest for Player 2. Now, this show is developed now, ego aside, and believe me, I have a sizable ego. But ego aside, this show is developed for all like-minded geeks because there's a lot of hesitation in the geek world. What if you see somebody, when we talk to them, what do you do? We're here to give advice for you people, the modern geek people. Because, look, I was just at a convention, Star Wars convention, Star Wars Celebration in Chicago. Thank God it's coming back to Anaheim in 2020.
Oh.
But I was just there, and you see a lot of people that have this hesitation about wanting to talk to somebody, but like, you know, how do you approach it? How do you do this? How do you do that? We're here to fill in the blanks for you, and we're here to help you with all that you need to know. So, with all that said, Tony, first of all, before we get into answering any questions, give us a little bit of history about yourself for catching viewers. You haven't been here in 6 months, so catching viewers up to who you are and some of your views on relationships.
My views on relationships. I'm Tony. Haven't been here for a good long minute. I'm originally from Florida, and that's where I was for 6 months. Came back. We're fine. We're good. And my philosophy on relationships.
What's this? Are you a cat? You scratching at the
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Pass me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Hey! And the Orangina.
Orangina, you
Orange
stupid.
China.
It's not Orangina.
You fucking heard me.
Orangina.
It's Orangina.
My philosophy on relationships is basically whatever works for you is what works for you, and you should be unapologetic about that.
Liquid courage is what this is called.
Yep.
I agree with you on that. So let's get to our first question. Daniel Jerome, kick us off.
First question comes from listener Layla, the only person that actually was okay with giving their name. So, how has your upbringing affected your dating life and relationships you've been in? I feel like with all the stuff I went through growing up and how I was treated by my own egg donor mother, really, yeah,
Whoa.
she says. That's what I'm like, ooh, this is going to be deep right here. Really had a negative effect on me. So much so that when I was in my first real relationship, I was so far deep in the head on wanting everything to work out that I overlooked a lot of stuff about my ex. In some cases, I just straight up ignored my intuition. However, I will admit that I knew in the back of my head that my POTUS, if you don't know,
For President of the United States?
No. It's a
POTUS is the President of the United States.
It's part of my lingo here.
President of the United States. POTUS.
Nope. Piece of
POTUS.
totally useless shit. Of an ex-boyfriend was gonna screw me over. Lo and behold, that happened. I guess that's because I'm so used to being screwed over by my own mother that I almost expected it. So essentially, gave us a little breakdown showing how her relationship has been affected by her upbringing. She's asking the question directly: does an upbringing have anything to do, and can it affect your relationships as you get older?
Antoinette, you want to take it?
Absolutely, it does. My own parents, I was a shotgun baby, for those of you who don't know.
Oh, no way.
Shotgun baby is like, when a lady gets knocked up and then they have to have a shotgun wedding.
So you're from Florida for sure.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
No, so my parents were married on March 17th. I was born the very next day, not even 24 hours later.
No way!
Yeah.
Wow!
I was a real honest-to-God shotgun baby.
You're a hillbilly.
Shut up. No, my parents were like, they grew up together in the same small town. They were high
you have
school
all your
sweethearts.
teeth?
I do. These are all mine, and they're beautiful. Thank you.
Well, I mean, they're all yours if you buy them. The doctor put something in.
No, but like because my parents had a very tumultuous marriage, divorce, I very much have like a low tolerance for arguments and drama, and just like if the argument isn't going anywhere to resolve anything, I have a very low tolerance for that, which has become a problem in my relationships because it's just like I don't have the patience for it.
Me too.
Yeah. So that definitely plays a part in your life and in your relationships.
I mean, I definitely agree. When you have to go into your past when it comes to your parents and upbringing connected to relationships, yeah, it plays a huge role. And from your example, it kind of reminded me, I had to write it down, which was the phrase people say where it's
Zippity
stop
zappity.
setting yourself on fire
that phrase
just
too.
to keep others warm. And essentially it's like that's what you're doing in that way, kind of being a pleaser, looking the other way. You can't do that. Your emotions are important. How you feel, everything is very important, and it should be shared. You don't have to keep other people happy, safe, or valued. The thing is, you should realize that, well, you are happy, safe, and valued. And if you're not, maybe it's time to really focus on you before trying to focus on a relationship. And with anything concerning the past, it's always hard for somebody to be able to deal with it on their own. I usually suggest try to get some therapy. It's important because you've asked this question so many times before, so I know it's something that's important to you, and you need to really be able to discuss it. And if you can't discuss it with your mother, I don't know, definitely head over to a therapist. It can really help you, in my opinion.
I call this the Anakin Skywalker.
Oh,
because look, he had some issues. He killed those sand people for no apparent reason, just because they messed with Shimmy.
Shimmy?
Whatever her name was. I think her name was Shimmy, right?
Oh my God.
Shmee?
Yeah,
Shmee.
Whatever.
No, but
I was a Star Wars celebration too long. But here's the deal. Your parents, I think your upbringing affects the way that you treat relationships because you only know what you see and you only see what you know. And I think that obviously it's a direct indication of how you're going to treat that relationship. With that being said, though, that shouldn't define you. And like he said, if it really messes with you that much, then you should see a therapist. However, you have to understand, too, that what would Anakin Skywalker do? He'd kill some sand people. All right.
Don't kill sand people.
All right.
No. I would go ahead and add to all this by
saying... we call them Tusken Raiders.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, thank you. I was like, whoa.
No, but not everything that happens to you in your past it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It doesn't have to be a flaw. It can be an asset. So you're used to taking care of yourself. All right, you're independent. You're sufficient. You don't have to rely on somebody else to make you happy. So you don't have to go ahead and just approach it as like, well, I'm broken and wrong. And you can go ahead and recognize that your past, even though it may be negative and not happy, can actually, make you pretty cool and pretty awesome.
Donnie Pearson says, hello, everyone from the greater Seattle area. My home for 2+ decades. Hello, Dan, Joe, and Tony. Tomorrow marks the debut of the first Disney distributed 20th Century Fox film, Breakthrough. I actually saw Breakthrough. It's actually a great movie. I saw it about a couple weeks ago. It's a really good movie. Funny enough, it's a Christian movie though. That's distributed by. It's the first Fox movie distributed by Disney. It's a Christian movie and had 25 million views in its first day. It's 25 million views on its trailer in the first day, and it stars Kate from This Is Us, Luke Cage. Who else is in the movie? Josh Lucas. There's a lot of celebrities.
Wait, so it's a faith-based film?
100%. And it's really
WWE did one recently,
and it's a true story. It's a legit true story.
Yeah, so it's interesting that's moving on as far as a lot of people doing those faith-based films. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel that they are kind of, funny enough, preachy. Just like Tyler Perry films. I'm not a fan of Tyler Perry films because I feel that he is overly preachy. He does that whole thing where...
you're racist. All right, let's move on to our next question. Daniel, why don't you hit us with it?
All right. This one is entitled Text Your Ex. My ex of 2 years... My ex of 2 years just dumped me 2 weeks ago, and I recently found out that he lied to me as to why. Apparently, he dumped me so he could hook up with his first love that he never got to hook up with because they were kids. I'm hurt. I'm offended. I feel so much less than her now. God, that's... Man. Okay, how do I keep my cool since we all attend the same college and I'll see them on campus? Plus... we are all part of the hip-hop club as well as the board game club. Coincidentally, that's how I found out.
What? What?
That's what yeah. So I think it's maybe Shay. Someone, I can see Shay in that hip-hop club. But anyway, that's how I found out. Someone from the club told me. How do I keep the crazy from coming out?
Okay. Before we answer this question full on, I want to do a quick... You know what that is? That's the hip-hop club. But it's actually me scratching my back on the chair.
Dear God, don't let that be the hip-hop club.
That is actually me scratching my back on the chair. Let's play a fun little game with this question.
Okay.
So the essential essence of this question is this dude broke up with this girl to hook up with some chick that he was in love with.
Yes.
Chat me up about a personal experience where you can relate this to. Go ahead, Tony. You're up.
I actually didn't know that I had broken up a couple at a party the night before because I didn't realize the person I was making out with had a girlfriend. And that's because the dude was like, yes.
Tony,
here's what happened.
Trifling. Bust down, Tatiana. Go ahead. Come on, keep telling me more.
I woke up, I was in my friend's, there was a massive party outside, and I fell asleep in my friend's living room, and, everyone's getting up, we're making breakfast, the whole thing, and they're talking about, Colin and his girlfriend, they totally, they had a huge fight.
You called the guy out, what's his last name now?
I don't remember his last name.
Colin, that's good that you came up with a fake name that fast.
It wasn't fake, it was real name.
Shut up, I'm trying to...
Florida? Colin, if you're watching... I hope you're watching.
Come on, they're probably she's from Florida. It's probably happened with a bunch of Collins.
I don't know. I don't know where he is. But they were all talking about how this guy and his girlfriend had a massive dramatic argument because he had made out with somebody right in front of her. And I was like, I'm sorry. Colin has a girlfriend, and they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, then that was me. That was that person. I literally said, hey, how are you? What's going on? And it just led into a kiss. It wasn't a big, huge kiss, but it was a more than just a hello kiss. And then I literally just walked off because it was a party and I was intoxicated and it was just a party kiss and okay.
What's a party kiss?
When you're just I love everyone.
What do you mean I don't know what that means.
You've never been intoxicated and felt the need to kiss people?
No, because especially in this day and age, that's a hashtag me too if I did that. This is not recent,
and obviously this is back in my college days, and I didn't know this. So yeah, but then when I texted him, I was like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. If I had known, I obviously wouldn't have kissed you. And he's like, that's okay. I literally forgot to break up with her before this party because I knew that I was going to go to the party.
I forgot to break up with her before the party.
Yes.
So
that's what he told me.
I bet he showed up there with her. How do you forget if you drove her there? BS.
He was like, I forgot to break, and I was like, okay, cool, don't know what that's about, but totally didn't know. And
don't worry about it. I forgot to break up with her.
Yeah.
So you want to keep making out? Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Okay, let's give your real life account of a situation similar to this.
I didn't break up with an ex to get with someone from my childhood, but I hooked up with someone from my childhood years later, and it was great. Yeah, that's it. Cool story.
That's your story.
No, really. I mean, that person was married. But that's a different story, man. I mean, whatever. Life is life.
Wow.
Not then though. I mean, they were married, so that's why we never got to. And then finally, when they divorced, it was like, oh, okay, boom. And then, it was like, oh my God. I saw that she was divorced, and I just kind of looked on Facebook, and I was like, oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? How's life? And blah blah. And then
what?
Things happen. Yeah. What about you?
I don't have a story like this.
Nothing remotely close? Can you call your girlfriend? time to have the talk. That's what Tony had to say to Colin.
Colin.
Yeah,
I've never had.
Colin
I've never had a situation. I've never had to break
Quinn.
up with anybody in order to hook up with somebody.
We didn't hook up. It was literally.
Well, I didn't have to either, but I had something at least remotely similar. Have you ever had someone that you dated and maybe like you?
I've never.
Hey, did you ever date someone and then later reconnect with them?
No. That's never happened. So
how are your shoes?
My shoes are great. So
what?
no. I feel that you guys are scumbags. So
Thank
let's
you.
move on.
Oh, I'm not. I didn't cheat on
answer
anyone.
the
I didn't do
question.
anything. We
Wait,
didn't even answer
what
the
was
question.
question about the question?
What? So how do I
I'm the
keep the
most
crazy?
moral. I would be our captain. I'm the most moral person here.
Yeah, well.
Not a true statement,
Cap,
but okay.
Cap is also possibly like an anti-Semite, but whatever.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know.
What's the question?
Doesn't like bullies.
Yeah, true. How do I keep the crazy from coming out? That whole situation where it's like, okay, he lied to you.
There's a woman.
And
of course, it has to be a woman talking.
I knew you'd say that. But how
well, if you're a woman,
out?
the crazy from not coming out, it's impossible. It's
Not true.
coming.
Well, dude, that's kind
Not
of
true.
it's messed up. Or especially you have to see this person again with that other person, and it's like in a setting where you're like, okay, usually it's just like, oh, well, get away from him. That's your answer.
Okay, but if he dumped you, clearly he has shit taste. So why would you care about what he does anyways after the fact? Like you're done with him. And
But it's
you're-
so
But it's
easy to say that.
Exactly. 2 years they were in a
Sure, I
relationship.
mean, it's easy to say a lot of the things that we're saying, but it's like
True.
that's the thing that you keep going on in your head where you're just like, I'm better for this because clearly I wasn't what he was going to appreciate. So bye. Done. All right. Goodbye.
I don't know, for me, I was looking and I was thinking to myself, and I was like, I came up with like 7 things you need to pay attention to.
You're an idiot.
When you're not, to not be blindsided by a breakup. And it's like,
Let's talk about the worst city in the world, Boston.
What?
Why would we want to talk about the worst city in the world?
They shouldn't even have our attention. That's true.
That's what I'm like, come on. Is it a city?
That's where the devil's from. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, is it a city?
What were you saying?
It's crappy.
no, comment
So the 7
section.
things.
Yeah, don't read that unless you super
yeah.
chat it.
Okay, fine.
7 things I usually suggest is one, how
City
your
of
partner,
wieners? Yes.
how your partner responds to your needs and your feelings. That's something you should kind of pay attention to. If you kind of see the things that are kind of getting weird, where they're not paying attention to your needs, your feelings like they used to, you may want to try to talk or have that conversation a lot earlier. Like, hey, it's something I noticed. The energy you're giving off in the relationship. How's that going? Is it change? What's happening there? The changes in communication, that's a given. Changes in your partner's moods, that's also kind of connected to the communication as well, and the energy. Distance and lack of physical attention or affection. That's something. Your friends and family members' opinions of your partner, that starts to change. They start to say, hey, blah, blah, yada, yada. And last but not least, your intuition. It's something that you should definitely kind of pay attention to and trust. If you're starting to notice that, hey, these are situations and you're starting to see it, you're starting to notice it, pay attention to your intuition. It's something you can trust. So those are things I would suggest for the future for you. But as far as not keeping the crazy out, you may need to have a conversation. I guess that may be part of the thing you may have to do with him, not with her. Please, not with her. It's not her fault, whatever, like that. It's him, his, trash decisions. So have a conversation with him. Try to figure out exactly what the heck is going on. And that's what I would suggest to do. It gets closure.
Hashtag trash panda.
Boom. I hate raccoons.
No, why?
Because they're trash pandas. They are. They're evil.
why?
They're really large,
Why
too.
would you hate them?
Because
Oh,
they're
look at
so
that. It's my
large.
millionaire.
No, it's...
Hey, we got a super chat.
I'm not going to read it, though.
This is from the Bet2C Blur, and it
Okay.
says, hey, Boston is a good city.
You know what? It is. And you know why? You spent $2 for me to say that. Actually, for Tony to say that.
Oh, is that the rule that you're supposed to be the one saying this?
No, not me.
Okay.
Someone says it.
Somebody says
Somebody.
that. Let's go on. Let's talk about this though for a second. Look, I noticed that the people that like this show the most are the people. Hey, we need refills and everything. The people that like this show.
What the hell happened?
The people that like this show the most are the people that like hearing about our actual personal stories.
Definitely.
So speaking of personal stories, in terms of relationships, right now, where do the two of you stand on relationships? I'm gonna go to you first, Daniel. I
don't like this phrase.
I
don't like this phrase because it elicits kind of thought. But I'm a free agent right now, so I'm dating multiple people, but I'm trying to, in some way, if possible, be exclusive at moments for things. Adult time. I'm exclusive. If I have adult time with someone, then I try to, say, all right, then it's exclusive, me and that person. But if that person says, oh, okay, I'm fine with you being able to have, multiple partners, well, then play on and play through. That's who I am right now.
We do have another super chat.
I love that he spent $5 to say this. Go ahead, I'm going to let Daniel read it.
Joe's mad he can't live in Boston.
Yeah,
I don't think
I love the
anyone
snow.
is mad that they can't live in Boston.
I love the snow so much that I didn't even want to be in Chicago for it, and I love Chicago.
You know the worst accent in the world is a Boston accent.
It is.
I'm just saying. It's like when you hear it, it's nails on the chalkboard. It's one of the worst things ever. And then on top of that, you have the Boston people who are just trash on their own. And so it's kind of hard to deal with them. But
and then they have a new party, the Boston Teabagger party. Where they
that's right. They do that thing, which is a
weird
weird thing they're doing lately. I don't know. It's like,
All right, Tony, relationships.
Are you reading Trash Panda? That's awesome. Are you asking me about my current relationship status, or are you asking me like my philosophy on relationships?
Both. Trash Panda.
Trash Panda. No, he's.
You're the Trash Panda. You're the Trash Panda.
Wow, I'm the Trash Panda because I'm not afraid of sex. Go ahead.
I am. Up until this point, I've been like a serial monogamist, and like this is the first time in my life where we're not doing that. So we are actively dating multiple people. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been
But that's just dating. I feel like.
Yeah, because listen, I know that I'm at that age where I'm supposed to be worried about like settling down and getting married and having kids. I'm 35. I'm 35.
Oh, we're really close to the same age.
Yeah, like I know I'm supposed to be like feeling that anxiety of like, oh no, what am I going to do if no one will marry me and bear my children? Like,
why though?
Because it's society. That's what society has told us.
But
like,
the societal norms doesn't
I agree.
That's the problem.
I agree. They're bullshit. And I have not felt that anxiety personally. So I'm like, I'm just going to go out here and see what happens and meet people. And yeah, so far it's been working out. So.
What that means.
So how do you kind of navigate that whole thing, going from being a serial monogamist, as you said, to going to being a person that, hey, I'm free to date. I'm kind of just enjoying my life.
It requires a lot of honesty, where I'm just like, I'm not trying to wife you up.
Okay. Do you find that hard to do?
Sometimes,
like, as far as like you're telling some people and everyone else is like, well, I'm used to serial monogamy also, and then you're like, okay, well then let me tell you.
Time out. Wait, done? I'm a little confused. Not confused. I want some more insight here. So, you were a serial monogamist.
I was in a long-term relationship for 8 years. We were high school sweethearts.
Were you going to get married, or what was the plan here?
We were going to get married. We were going to do the whole thing.
High school sweethearts?
We lived together.
How did it end?
That's a mistake.
If you don't mind me asking.
No, we just.
Well, you're on a show that.
Yeah,
like
we're doing this, so.
This is going to turn into Tony's After Dark.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Tony After Dark. No, it just was like, okay, we are now far too codependent than we need to be on each other. We are making each other miserable. You're a good person. I'm a good person. We'd like to stay good people. So let's just.
Hold on for a second. Hold on.
That happened to me and my ex. We were together for 6 years, and like she's a great person, and she actually just got married. Congratulations.
Yeah. Okay.
She just got married, but it was the same thing. Like, you spend so much time together with that person, and then we lived together for a long time, and it got to a point where it's like. We're fighting a lot, and this is at this point, this is my mid-20s.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere to go. What am I gonna do? And it really got hard on us. And then we broke up, and then time passed. Like a year passed. She's like, I want to get back together, and I was with somebody else, and then you were there. She had a big scene about it.
Oh wow.
Not a good thing.
But she's a great person, actually. She's a really good person.
Yeah.
No, he was my first love, and like he was like, honest to God, still one of the best people I've ever known to this day, and I'm so.
What's his name? Colin?
No.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, just really curious about it.
He just starts breaking down. He's watching it. Oh God, my life.
Yes.
Every time Tony doesn't answer something I want to know, I'm gonna make her watch Infinity.
Yeah, exactly. No, but so Tony,
yes.
You said, like, okay, you two were making each other miserable.
Yeah.
Was that a shared feeling? Like, both of you?
We were both
or do you feel that you felt miserable and you just interpreted it as, oh, he does also?
No, we had an uncanny ability to hit on each other's insecurities and to just, not even meaning to.
That's the digging deep or the below the belt.
Below the belt.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, and it's not like we were intentionally out to hurt each other. It was just like for example, like my own dad is a workaholic, so I had like a lot of like issues with like people choosing their work over spending time with me, and he was incredibly ambitious, and I'm like, it's not. He, in his mind, was not choosing to do that over hanging out with me, but that's what I was taking it as because I had baggage from my parents.
Is he a creative?
Yeah.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because you're a creative.
Yeah.
He's a creative. Mm-hmm. At that time, was he far more dedicated to his craft than you were? Was that it? Or?
What did he do?
Well, at the time he wasn't. Now he's like in social media production.
So at the time he
yeah.
wasn't. Okay. What did he do then?
God, what was he doing then? I think he was like a beverage manager at World Market.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So his thing is
No, really, Jared.
Yeah, that's right. His thing is always success.
Yeah,
That's it.
It was
So
just like,
that's
no,
his
like
grind. His
whatever
grind
he's
is
going to
success.
do, he's going to be the best.
And we're gonna
at
throw
it.
the questions out the window now. We're gonna talk about personal
Yeah.
experiences because I feel like this is good. We're getting somewhere.
Okay.
We're
can hold on
making
to other ones for
progress.
later.
Yeah, we are. And if you guys really want questions answered, hit that super chat. Like Comic Book Realtor, he asked, "How can I send in my question?" Well, you can do it right now, but by super chatting. Anybody
Or
can,
comic book realtor.
What did I say?
You said a realtor?
Whatever.
Yeah, I'm just or
Who cares? Who cares? I'll correct it when you super chat.
when I see nice.
But
Oh, everyone's being very kind about my age. Thank you, everybody.
let's talk about
Because
this
you
for a
don't look like it. Congratulations,
thank
you
you.
got some melanin in your
Let's-
skin, so it's keeping you
Sunscreen.
kind of young, and
Drink
you're
your water.
doing
Let's
some things.
let's pull back the curtain a little bit and talk about these because I feel like personal relationship issues, not issues, but experiences are the most people
Intriguing.
drawn from being informed with what we do.
True.
So, with that being said,
Yes, Joe.
Daniel Jerome, talk about the first time. I'm just kidding.
Oh, gee. Why is it always, and why does that immediately have everyone erupt in laughter when you just said the phrase, talk about the first time? You didn't even go in. We just knew that coming from you, it's going to be, here comes something bad.
Hey, you fucking heard me.
Yeah, exactly. Talk about the first time.
No, but seriously, so how long? That was an 8-year relationship. Mm-hmm. When did that end?
2010.
That was like 8 years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
It took a while for me to get over that. It did, just because I wasn't in the place to like really start seeing other people.
when
It's an
was
8-year relationship.
When was your
Yeah.
next relationship after that?
God. At that point, we moved. He moved away to a completely different state. I moved out of the house. I think it was about a year before I was actually trying to see somebody, and then that didn't really work out because
You weren't over it.
So wait, let me ask you a
Well, no,
question.
it was just a bunch of like miscommunication, and like I'm still like a shithead in my mid-20s, so I'm like I'm not really like
Right now,
as honest as I am
You're in
now.
your 30s now.
yes.
So what has changed
I was gonna ask
in your
that.
mindset?
I'm way more honest and confrontational in the sense of like, no, we're going to talk about this. Like, sit here and like.
But I thought you
let's
said
talk
that
about
you were the
this.
person that if there was issues that you're like, fucking, I don't want to deal with it.
Yes, but no, like if it's an extended argument and it's just an argument going nowhere and we're just arguing because
Oh,
we're
the circle.
hurt and we're just like nothing is getting accomplished. I don't have time for that
Okay,
shit.
okay.
I don't do that. Like it's just like it just like right now I'm just getting very anxious about it. But if we're gonna actually talk about something and actually like have movement towards resolution, then like yeah, we'll do this. We'll do this as long as it takes.
I'm curious because you actually brought up a great point. I'm going to parlay this over to you, Daniel, or volley this over to you, actually. So she spoke about being in a relationship and then kind of like figuring out what was different between her 20s to 30s. To you, what was the thing you learned the most between your 20s and 30s?
I was married in my 20s. In my 30s, I wasn't. I understood a lot of things differently. One, I understood about it's not my job to seek happiness from someone else. I've got to be able to learn to be happy, satisfied, and content with me. When I learned to do that, then when it came to connections and relationship with someone else, I was far more confident. I was far more able to, I was less swayed by, they were unhappy at one little thing, so let me change everything about myself. Because that's something that a lot of people do when they're young. When it comes to their first relationships, in their 20s, definitely somebody will go ahead and connect with someone. We talked about it last episode, the Little Mermaid complex, where it's like, oh, the first person that gives you attention is the first person you want to connect to, you know? And it's like, well, why? You know? You don't need that to be the case. but it is unfortunate. One thing I wish I was able to get in my 20s that I didn't get, but I learned or figured out in my 30s, is being open and being able to honestly discuss my feelings and my fears. I was not able to do that really in my 20s.
Why though?
Because
is that a self kind of like?
It was more of it just, in your 20s you're stupid. Being honest, and the thing is, you don't. Yeah, you are. Yeah. And the thing is, so you're afraid that if you share this, that's another thing. Vulnerability does not equate being weak.
Hi, Jezzer, you're a pussy.
Vulnerability actually is a trait of strong individuals.
Actually, Jezzer and I had a great talk in Chicago, but I'll bring that up in just a second. Go ahead.
But when I was young, I didn't get it. So that's pretty much what I wish there was a difference, and that's something I definitely did learn that came with age. Being vulnerable isn't a bad thing. You just have to know how vulnerable you can be. That's all. You're sharing a story about Jezzer? Question? You're sharing a story about Jezzer.
Your difference between you and your 20s and your 30s.
Wait, which one am I answering?
Both.
Yeah.
So your difference between 20s and 30s?
Don't compliment Joe on his guns. Get out of here, comment section.
My 20s and 30s. Am I asking first?
Yes.
Yeah.
In my 20s, actually in a pretty long-term relationship. So, which is a lot different. It's a lot different. So, in my early to mid 20s, I was in a long-term relationship. In my late 20s, I went fucking crazy. So, in my early to mid 20s, I was in a pretty strong relationship. I actually thought I was going to get married to this girl. Didn't happen.
Hey, I can be honest, I didn't.
What?
I didn't think you were.
Yeah, you did. You told me.
No, you said you were, and I was kind of like, all right.
He told me. He legitimately told me he thought I was going to
I am here to support the friend. Yeah, I thought you were going to, but I was just like...
Stop asking him to flex for you in the comments. Who
is doing that?
Right now. Who is that?
Who handled it? Dude, can you do us a huge favor and just like show up to the studio and oil him up?
Is that you?
Oh, that's one of fellow cast members, Shay, guys. Curtain pulled back. Go ahead, you were saying.
Guns, difference, you mean pea shooters, right? Your mom calls them. Your mom calls something else a pea shooter.
That's not good either. That's really not good either, bro. Think about that. She calls it a pea shooter. It's all right. So you were saying,
hey,
20s to 30s.
Listen, even a 747 small flying into a Grand Canyon. You know what I mean?
Wow.
All right,
wow.
No.
Wow. So, hey, I've actually been able to change from Trash Panda to Daniel. I did something good.
Let's talk about this. Like he wants me to flex too. Relax about it.
One more time for the people. One more time for the people.
There's you, Trash Panda. So
what the hell?
My 20s to 30s.
Why is this happening?
In my 20s, I was in a solid relationship that was really good. It just wasn't the right time, and then I went wild for a little bit, and then in my 30s I realized all the mistakes I had made. In my 30s, it's funny because even in my 30s, in my early 30s, I didn't want to be married, I didn't want to have kids, and now in my mid 30s, it's all changed. So.
There's something interesting. Yeah, I was gonna ask. One, are you happy?
Yeah.
And two, there's something to be said concerning.
Oh, are we calling your mom's vagina Roswell? That's great.
Wow.
Bitch.
What's going on? What's happening?
I don't. Wow.
Daniel,
wow.
you need something?
I don't. What is it? Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm going to say a prayer for you because he just murdered you. Oh my god, it's so horrible. Anyway, so back to it. There's a big thing to be said concerning your change from late. The whole structure.
I'm in my mid-30s.
You went from
essentially.
No, but in your late 20s, you said like you kind of went wild or whatever. Why do you feel that was?
I think I mean because I could mainly.
Well, I mean that's the answer for most people because I can. But the thing is, just because you can doesn't mean you should. So there has to be something. What's the catalyst? Why do you think you were like, yeah, I'm going to. I can and I will.
Mainly because I could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Mainly because nobody's going to stop me.
Yeah. Who's gonna stop you?
And was it because you didn't get to do that earlier?
No,
or
because
you chose not to.
No, I mean,
because that was my case.
From 18 to probably like 18 to 27 or 26, 18 to 28 maybe, I've always been in a relationship. So from 28 to maybe 31, I went crazy.
So then it does sound like it was because at that moment you did have a level of restriction, which was
Because I was always with somebody.
Yeah.
But now it's different because now I just want to settle down and just I want to go to bed at 9. You know what I mean? We'll watch This Is Us.
Do you feel?
Love it.
Not with that. Not with that. Don't start with.
Go to bed at 9.
Dear God.
Watch a solid program,
Oh my
television show
God.
program. Eat a TV dinner. You know what I mean? Like maybe do a crossword
There's
puzzle.
no TV dinner for you. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Do a crossword puzzle or something.
Oh my God! You eat a TV dinner.
Alright,
You
we
gotta
gotta-
wear
we
sweats
gotta
and give up
switch.
on life.
I don't wear sweats.
Yeah.
Super chat.
Oh my. Well, the Batusi Blur of Boston. I'm so sorry for you. Says I feel the 20s is trial and error in romance era. Yeah, that's definitely.
No, I think
true.
the real romance era is in the 30s.
Yeah.
Well, now that's the thing. That's very interesting because if you go back roughly 10 years ago, that statement is correct. But now, because hey, your 30s is now a time where people are like, I just figured out my setting. Because you get out of college, and usually now, there's no way you're getting a career in the field you were in. You're still trying to get into that. So by your 30s, now you're like, I figured it out, and I've got something going on. So then it's like, now that's becoming your trial and error also. So it's so interesting as time goes on what you're seeing people have to go through. And it's just like, wow. So, but for us, our 20s was the time. Uh-oh.
Shazzer, he says, I want to settle down. I want to justify my dad bod.
I do not.
Wait, are you saying that about you or are you saying that about Joe? I don't understand what's going on.
Hey, look at these guns. I don't have
Oh,
Wow.
my God.
Wow.
So you did it once again.
You started this.
Oh, God. Why? Why?
No.
Would you build him up? You did build him up. God.
What about people who get married in the
Way to
late
go,
20s,
Hawkeye.
early 30s?
It's better than you get married in your early 20s.
I agree.
Yeah.
I got married in my early 20s, and I will tell you, I wish I didn't. But I gained a daughter out of it, and she's wicked cool, so
She
it's
is
perfectly
awesome.
fine. And I wouldn't change it for nothing. But definitely, for other people, don't do it. Don't get married in your early 20s. You're still building who you are at that point. Now, most likely, you've probably stepped away from your parents, and you're able to make your own choices. You've possibly gone to college, sometimes in-state, out-of-state, blah, 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 whatever that may be. But now you've actually established and created a social circle with people that wasn't one that was imposed on you because it was just where you were. You're actually choosing people to hang out with, choosing where you go and what you do. You've actually established a taste in music, fashion, and even proclivities or vices, and also even sex. So with that being the case, take that time to still understand you and embrace you. Don't just go ahead and throw it all away and say, all right, well, we're established and we're married, because you'll change during that time, and they will also change during that time. Usually what people say is that they change and they grow apart because they're too close as it is. Their vicinity is, they're too close to each other. So I suggest against it.
Toku wants to have his comments, but here's the facts. Just get some charisma, kid. That's all I'm saying. Maybe if you
he works dry. Like, what's that comedian?
He works dry.
What's that
Nothing
comedian?
works dry.
No, yeah, it is.
Have you ever tried to have sex with?
Oh,
God!
Whoa!
I'm gonna say this right
You're gonna
now.
ask me that question?
Toku,
Yeah, you know I have.
Toku, just get some fucking charisma, and then come and talk to me. Thank you.
What's that comedian who was the radio DJ on?
You know what I love about Toku is that I feel like I'm watching the Dry Eye guy.
Oh, that's
30
one.
years younger.
That's one. That's one.
That's watching
Bueller,
his goddamn videos.
Bueller.
It's this monotone little bastard that has no charisma. Gain some charisma.
Hey, have you seen him dance?
Yeah, and it's even still he looks stiff, just like his personality. Anyway, let's continue on.
Oh my God.
Continuing on.
Jeez, my goodness. So yeah, your conversation with Jezzer.
Oh yeah, we had a good conversation actually. So
Jezzer, we're gonna tell a lot of your.
No, I'm not gonna burn him though.
Oh, here it comes.
But what I will say
Get
is
a wet
that
floor sign. Spilling tea.
look, Jezzer wants a future.
So does everyone.
Jezzer.
I want to live.
Yeah, right.
Jezzer, I feel that like Jezzer feels the same way as I do. Is that people can be very confusing. Mm-hmm. Women can be very confusing.
Indeed.
No, that's not a that's a.
Oh no,
I mean, and that's not just women.
No, that's women. That's
men.
men.
Men
No,
and
that's
women.
women. It's mainly women.
Well, I can speak for both. Men and women.
Yeah, I can speak for both. You're not a woman.
Confusing.
So
no, but I am a man. I understand that I am.
We're not
indeed.
confusing. It's pretty clear, cut and dry.
I date both though.
You-
I mean, I'm bi. So
Jezzer's pretty fucking straightforward.
Well, yeah. We'll have a conversation.
So, for I understand where he's coming from with the confusion because there's certain people that throw out mixed signals. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Not certain people. I'm just saying in general.
yes.
Using it as a generalization.
Okay.
Well, do you know what it is? And
generalizations.
the only thing I would ever say about like men and women is that men are raised to be solution based. So it's very much like we're gonna do the thing because that is what makes most sense. And women are made to talk in terms of our emotions. So that there's this very amorphous conversation about just like it doesn't really go anywhere. There's not a solution. There's not an actionable plan at the end of it. But that's because that's
There's no point. Is what you're saying.
I mean, that's what society has just been told. Like you don't need to do anything. You just need to talk about your feelings because your feelings are what's important. But it's like important for like, okay, men, yes, you do need to be emotionally articulate, and women, you guys do need to learn that it's okay to have a plan. It's okay to go ahead and say we're going to do the thing, and that's what makes sense, even barring if it doesn't resolve every single lingering emotion that I may have. But that's not something that we're taught as young girls by this society. We're just not.
It's very true. Well, that's why I love that whole Steve Harvey phrase where it's like, think like a man. Because in that way, it's like, okay, when you think like a man, you understand, like how to work and deal with men. As a woman, I'm saying. Like, okay, that's why we'll touch it up. Feel it up. But like that whole thing needs to be done. And on the reverse, men need to understand that, okay, well, women choose to communicate their feelings.
Yeah, you just can't gloss over and skip ahead to the end. Like, no, we have to go ahead and at least acknowledge like what's happened, so that way this shit does not happen again. Like that's that's a two-sided conversation that needs to happen, and both like it's just the way in which we are generally raised. Not everyone is going to fall into this, but
the thing
generally
is,
when it
comes to being a man, the one thing that does draw that issue where it's like, well, okay, yes, I understand that you need to go over, but I don't need you to review what I was actually here for. I need you to tell me how that affects you.
Yes.
That's what men are looking for.
Yes.
So once you tell me how it affects you, but then here comes the problem. Men immediately say, now that you told me what affects you, let me fix it. I got my tool belt
Daniel
on.
Romano makes a great point.
You know?
Women understand other women and they hate each other. That's a quote.
I've said that so many times.
That's
true. I never understand that women are like, I want you to understand me.
You can say that all you want, but listen, there's other women.
That's BS.
There's other women.
Hold
on. There's other women that have been on this show without knowing other women that have been on this show that have hated other women on this show. That's a simple fact.
That's very true. Very true.
People can say as much as they want that it's not true, but it's totally true.
Yes.
You're different because the thing is, you haven't walked up to us and said that phrase of, "Oh yeah, most of my friends are only men." But think about
inaccurate.
Exactly.
I don't trust anybody that says that. Anymore.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Female or male or
that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't trust anybody that goes ahead
but the
and
thing
just
is,
says that, like this entire gender is just like
garbage.
Doesn't have access to me.
but once again, it is a phrase that women do say a lot. Oh, most of my friends are only men. And you're like, you're already an issue.
Those are pick me girls. That's what that is.
Yes, that's true.
That's a pick me girl. That's not
true.
Those are.
And then the men that say, "Oh, most of my friends are only,"
misogyny and who have gone ahead and decided, like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and be like, oh, pick me. I'm not like other girls, and it's like, sweetie, you really don't have to do all that. It's not necessary.
But there are indeed genuinely women who are like, I don't know why it just always works out that way. You know?
Yeah. No. I just. I don't hang out with those people. So it's like
Wait, what?
I don't hang out with those people.
Are you?
Wait, I'm
all right.
If I do, that's not been anything I've ever heard. Oh wow. Okay.
This is sippy.
Wow. Okay.
How'd you drink? Pretty good,
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, then clearly I am not around when certain conversations happen.
Oh man,
I feel
it's like a battle of the sexes.
As
here
women
today.
want to sweep it under the rug, the fact of the matter is this: there's inherently more competition with women than there are men, and I'm
Because
speaking.
that's misogyny. Because
No, that's
it's
not
like
misogyny.
men,
That's
like,
not
we
true.
have to
I don't
compete
think
with
so.
each
Completely
other.
not true. That's
Because
completely
we
not
have-
true.
What? I'm supposed to compete
So it's
with another
misogyny.
woman for what?
It's
For male attention?
So it's
No,
misogyny
thank you.
that women
No,
do that.
that's a lie.
Yes. Yes.
How is that a
that's
misogynistic thing?
Because
if women are doing
can
it.
be misogynist.
All right, fair enough. But what I find
Men
interesting,
can be feminists.
being a hashtag show since its inception, there's always been more struggles with the women than there have been the men.
That's true.
Fair fact. This is an honest point. Is that the women have always been more competitive with each other and more cutthroat with each other. The men have been more supporting of each other. That's a simple fact.
See, this is the thing.
From doing this show specifically.
But this is the thing. Hashtag itself, trying to look at that, it's a micro of the macro. When you look at like just society, how it works, the thing is, men definitely work at a level in which we do compete with each other, and it may not be something that's just right out there. And it's something that people really don't think about, but when you think about it, there's that phrase, the alpha male, and then the rest of the pack. The rest of the pack is sitting there waiting for their moment so that they can be the alpha male. They're looking forward to the alpha male to fail. So this way they can go ahead and say, oh, well, now I've taken that spot. Women do it in a way where they're
100% right, Joe. You're freaking. That's true, though.
No.
Women do it in a way.
No, it is true.
No, okay, listen. Are there
Women-
women out there who do that? Yes, but those women are misogynist because they've bought into the myth that we have to compete with each other.
No, I think that's an inherent.
Is there a myth?
It's
Is it
a,
a myth?
That's a
why
fact, it's not a
do
myth.
I need to listen? Like, I don't
Okay,
need
what's
to
the phrase when they say women get dressed for who?
for myself.
No. Women get dressed for other women.
I don't.
It becomes that whole level of competition. It's the phrase that people say and women usually
I am
choose to accept.
telling you that the way
You
I
don't.
function,
No, that's why I
and the
said
way
you're
that
different.
The people that I interact with and the people that, especially that are my closest friends, I'm like, we don't buy into that bullshit of like I need to compete with you, because why? For what? I don't see the point in it. I don't see the sense in it. What? So we can be catty and like tear each other down because we
It doesn't
buy
have
into
to
this
be
thing that there's
competi-
only
it doesn't
room
be
at the top
catty.
for like one or a few of us.
I
Like,
disagree with you to an extent.
It doesn't have to be catty just because you're choosing to compete.
Well, why do
It's
I need
just-
to compete?
Well, I'll disagree with you to an extent. I'll tell you why. Because right now, we're on a show that's
Yes.
a part of the geek entertainment industry.
Sure.
Let's face facts.
Yes.
Fact of the matter is this: inherently,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's harder for women in this genre.
Correct.
Because, let's be honest, women are harder on each other and they're competing with each other. Whereas I feel like with the men, it's a lot different because most of the men I've met, and I've
Is that
interacted with.
because there's always going to be more space for men, whereas
No,
there is for women?
I'll be honest.
I'm just asking the
let's be
question.
100% transparent about this.
According
I
to
mean,
the-
if you
no,
notice
according
on
to
this
the numbers-
panel, there's
according
more
to
of
the
you
numbers,
guys than
Yeah,
there is of me.
100%.
According
But
to
let's
the
be
numbers,
100. In fairness, though, yeah, you're right. There are more of us because you know why? Because we make ourselves more available for it. But
Okay.
with that being said, let's completely put all the cards on the table.
Sure.
Let's face facts. The fact is that in society, doing geek entertainment, there's a certain age where women age out, and men can do this forever.
Okay,
Chris
but
Hardwick's a
again,
great example.
Yeah, which is
that's
unfair.
misogyny.
Which is
100%
unfair.
that is.
Definitely.
I'm not denying
Yes.
that. However, with that being said, let's also face the facts that in terms of doing geek entertainment, and with women, there's competition for women to want to rise to the top against each other rather than it is for men. Because let's be honest, and maybe this is also maybe misogynistic,
But that's
but it's
the
also
I was going to say it.
That's
I was going to say it.
systemic.
Just wait.
it is 100%.
Just wait.
But
Okay.
I was
but
gonna agree.
also it's because there's more opportunity for us. However, there's a higher opportunity for women.
I feel there is, and I feel that women,
Let's look
unfortunately,
at cosplay in general.
due to the system, men are blocking the fact that they're kind of blocking the idea, so women can't see the fact
What's your question?
that there is.
Like, I don't.
Not a question. That was a statement.
Okay, yeah, you're just stating all things that are true. Yes,
Yeah,
correct.
100%.
Okay.
Why? No. Okay. Well, my question.
I mean,
is,
we
why
can, let's
is
take
that
let's
the
take
case?
cosplay into
Why is that
to
correct?
an example.
Why
That's
is what
not
the case?
fair.
What?
Why is that? Why is that the case? Why is it that there's
Women age like houses, men age like wine. I don't know what that means.
Who said that?
Daniel Romano.
Wow, this guy is. He had a fight
That's
recently.
misogyny.
He had recently a fight with Stephanie in the chat.
Stephanie Storm?
This guy, yeah, it was like insane. Like, man, Romano has phrases that are like Yo, I'm gonna write that shit down. But I mean, goddamn. But no, honestly, when it comes to it, why is that even a fact?
Why? What do you mean? Why
Why
is
is
there
it a
less
fact that
opportunities for us?
yeah? Because the thing is, I don't feel that should be the case. I feel it should be equal. But the thing is, it is
But
systemic.
if there's more of
it
you
is systemic.
guys, then
No,
clearly
yeah, exactly.
that's
Quote unquote
a
in the geek.
conversation for you guys to also have.
Which okay?
No,
but the
because
thing
no,
is,
that's not true. So let's put it. We had like 13 cast member. We extended it. Actually, when we had 13 cast members, there were more women than there were men.
Okay.
So when we extended it, sure, mainly because the men were more available for the shows we can do.
Okay.
That's a simple fact.
But, no, see, but once again, that goes back to hashtag is the micro versus the macro. I mean, look how diverse we are. That's something that you look on other geek channels.
None of us are white males.
Not really, yeah, that's not really happening on anything else. So that's why I'm like, hashtag is the micro. But look at everything else. Look at Nerdist. Let's go ahead and say it. You know, they show up. They're supposed to be the trailblazers.
The Collider.
Look, Collider.
Yeah.
But once again, a lot of white males, blah, blah, yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera. The women, and this is something that I've even noticed on a particular show, and I won't say a name, but it has this dynamic. 2 men, 1 woman. But the thing is, I feel, every time I watch it, the woman isn't... She's not validated in her opinion. She happens to be slight color commentary. You may know the show. She happens to be slight color commentary while the star and his co-host happen to, these are the opinions, and she sits off to the side. She doesn't even sit at the same table as them. And the thing is, it's like, that's the structure that happens within geek. Like, the thing is, like, why are we accepting that? Even though it's like, well, okay, men say this is how it works. In that way, if you want to look at it, men are the oppressors, women are the oppressed. Why do the oppressed choose to, like, all right, we'll just let it go? Or are they even choosing to let it go? Like,
I don't know. That's a conversation that we've never had.
Okay.
So I don't know.
That's true. That's true. Well,
I don't know what you guys feel about that.
So, okay.
All I know is that for me personally on this show, like trying to like, you know, I don't really like fight for screen time here. I don't ever feel the need to compete with other like, you know, especially women. I don't because it's like, this is stupid. And honestly, like, you know, I don't have to support myself being in geek entertainment. Exactly. I don't have to do that. I also have never felt the need to be desperate enough to compete with anybody else, man or woman.
Maybe that's you though, but you have to understand.
But I'm just saying that there are there people out there, not just women but men. Yeah, absolutely. There are people out there that feel the need to go ahead and compete. And I'm sure that like if you guys just talking about like as like brown and black men, like I'm sure you feel the need sometimes if you're like in a white, you know, predominantly white space of like, are they only going to pick like one of us?
Yep.
Do I now need to compete with a whole room of brown and black people? Like, do you like?
Like, it's very true.
Like, okay, and like, are there people out there that will go ahead and tear me down just because they see me as a threat? Sure. I've never had anybody say that to my face, so.
But my thing is, just like the infighting is something that really drives me insane.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So do you don't experience that when it comes to women?
No.
Like, all right, lately you were just on recently a panel.
Yes.
On WonderCon.
Yes.
At WonderCon.
It was supportive. I had somebody reach out to me and said, "Hey, you're brand new. You're you know, especially you're an indigenous woman. Like it's usually not a voice that we hear a whole lot from in geek culture. Like, would you like to come?" Yeah, absolutely. And it was a very supportive female environment.
Okay, that's what I was going for. It was a very supportive female environment.
Yeah, so I have not had that experience of being in a room where I felt like everyone was now trying to come after me because they felt like I was a threat. Or again, me looking out like, I got to compete with all these bitches.
I feel that it's a simple fact of the deeper you go into this industry, the more you see it.
Possibly, because I mean, I'm still brand new, guys.
I'm not
only
saying
a year
possibly.
in.
I know this from the facts of grinding and doing this.
Yeah.
So
I can only speak from my experience. Like I know, like I'm not saying that like this doesn't exist anywhere. I'm just saying like for me, I haven't come across it yet. I hope I never do. But
as a woman, you're aware that it does happen.
Yeah. But I also think that we have to help women who fall into that. If they've bought into this idea, like I need to compete with women, like it's important to go ahead and say like, no, you don't. You don't have to either. Listen, at the end of the day, if you guys want me on a show. And if I'm available, you guys will invite me onto a show. Yeah. If you guys want me to go to an event or write an article, you guys will have me do it. True. If not, okay, sucks, but like, all right, you guys went with somebody else. That's like,
true.
I have learned not to take things personal. My mom made me read that Four Agreements book.
Oh my God!
All self-help.
One of the best books ever, though.
And I'm just reading it like, all right, Mom, whatever you say. But literally, the number one tenet is like, don't take things personal. Like,
Yes.
all right, I don't
Yes.
take things. I think it's completely stupid for you to be in this town, to be in LA, to be a creative, to be in Hollywood, and still allow yourself to take things personally. I think you are stupid if you do that.
Well, you got to think of like Hollywood in general. I think that's a poor, like, let's be honest about it. We all live in Southern California. We live in Hollywood. Hollywood, if there's going to be more competitive women, even
Because
men
there
for
are
that
less
matter.
opportunities.
Well, in entertainment, there's more opportunities, but you got to think about it. This is a pretty cutthroat town, but
Sure.
that doesn't extend to just actors and actresses.
Sure,
It extends to everything.
everyone.
So, I think if you can understand that, then if anybody can understand that, then they know how cutthroat this is. Look, it's the same thing here. It's the same thing with geek entertainment. I don't it's not really much of a difference. Look at cosplayers. If you look at cosplay just in general, and as much as we want to say, oh, you know what, it's all about the costumes, it's all about this, that's bullshit. It's all about sexualization. Because every single let's be honest, the most popular cosplayers aren't the ones making their own costumes. It's about who people
has the
view as
best
hottest.
pictures.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's
Dude, my
take that
thing
into
is,
consideration.
When they're wearing bikinis and they're like, "This is a cosplay because I put on a
But
wig."
do you feel like that
What?
like equals out the opportunities that are not given
100%.
to? No, I
feel.
don't.
Are you kidding me? I feel
That's
that.
interesting.
Tragedies.
That's interesting.
Sex sells? What? That's news to me. Like
Okay.
I didn't know that at
True,
all. Like, okay,
true.
that has been the truth since we were flashing ankles because we thought that shit was sexy.
Flappers.
Like I just
But you're gonna say that is there anything wrong with that?
no. I think that no. Go ahead. Do what you need
I don't.
to do.
I disagree with that
Hustle. Make your
wholeheartedly.
money.
I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why.
Wait. When you say make your money, now the thing is,
Make
take
your
that
money.
take that into consideration. When they're the people that do the cosplay and then also
I
do
think
the
if you're not-
lewd cosplay,
Sure.
do this, do that,
Sure.
and then later say, "I want to be respected." Now this is a fair trend that's happening for men and women because
Sure.
there are cosplayer males. We all know these people that they're like, shirt off.
Sure.
Here you go. You know, as guys,
Sure.
shirt off. Here's my six pack.
Sure.
Blah blah yada yada. Oh no, I'm not here for sex. Ugh. Check out my Snapchat
My
premium.
respect for you, isn't
versus
dictated
the
by
women.
how much clothing you wear. So
Okay, but the thing is,
But I
peddling yourself to make that money is
listen,
not.
I am pro.
Well,
sex
see, my
and
thing,
pro
no,
sex
my
work.
thing,
I am
my thing is, yes,
absolutely-
I am
yeah.
definitely pro sex work. I am sex
Sure.
positive. But the thing is, when you jump into cosplay, which is supposed to be a thing where it's like, okay, cosplay is created so that you're supposed to be able to show your love for,
Sure.
you know, the
Yes.
culture, the nerd culture,
Yes.
blah blah, and all that, and
Yes.
you dress up so much as this. Why should lewd be an option? But actually, the truth of the matter is, I feel
Why
you
should
sex-
lewd be an
you- Well, you
option?
should sexualize. Society should be sexualized, in my opinion. But the thing is, with that still being the case, it's like, so you can't be upset later when you're like, oh, why don't you respect me as a cosplayer? Well, are you a cosplayer or are you just
You
a
can be
full-on
both.
model?
I mean, that's up to you. I mean,
No, I
that's
don't
up
feel
to
that.
you.
No,
I don't-
either you're
listen.
a model or you're a cosplayer.
Listen, you can
Pick
be a model
one.
and can be a cosplayer. If you're making your stuff, if you're seeking out, actual cosplays and you're not just shooting the lewds and you're in that space as a cosplayer, sure. If you're out there to go ahead and make your money and you're selling lewds, absolutely. I don't
See,
have a
this is
problem
this
with
is
that.
this is the problem I do have with it.
I like
So,
that.
let's talk about somebody like Kelly.
like that.
Kelly's complained about how all these people that don't wear clothes. She puts a lot of work in her costume.
Sure.
All
Yes.
these people that don't wear clothes, how they get the attention. I understand that. Here's the facts, though. Let's be honest. If we're doing something like
she's
hashtag
a
show, if we
creator
want
and a
sure, but if we
cosplayer.
want to hire all just supermodels for women here, is there a problem with that?
Yes.
Why? Because, like she said, sex sells.
So then
I'm
why
not going to be mad
well,
at you for doing that because you know you're going to get views and because you are making a decision
No,
as a business.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that, and I'll tell you why.
But I'm saying that hypothetically, in this
Hypothetically, that doesn't work,
In this
because if that was the
situation where
fact-
you
No, well,
would
no,
do
no.
that,
Let her finish. Okay.
If you were to do that, like hashtag doesn't belong to me. Like I do not have any
I get
control
what you're
over
saying
what
as far
you're
as
doing.
your- yeah,
You
hands
can
off.
choose to do that. Now, me, if I feel motivated enough to go ahead and be like, all right, I'm going to take all these other women that have now like have no place now because we've been ousted by the supermodels. All right, I'm going to go over and make my own platform, and I'm going to go ahead and make my own channel and do all this. Like I can't be mad at you for making a decision on behalf of your own platform and your own property.
But what I'm saying is,
True.
I don't disagree with that. But what I'm
But
saying
as
is
a
this.
fan.
Hold on, stop, because
Okay.
I've been trying to make a point for the last 15 minutes, and you've been cutting into me.
right, go.
Here's the facts. Let's cut into this because
Yeah.
this is I don't agree with you at all, and I'll tell you exactly why. Because A, we can sit here and say that, you know what, sexualization it sells. This is what it should be. That's bullshit, especially in cosplay. And I'll tell you why. Because there's so many people that work so hard that for everything that they do, and they get overlooked because of people that want to sit here and put, literally, that have no idea what the costumes are or who the characters are, and want to just put on a costume and get attention. That's one thing. That's the number one thing that I have a problem with. Number two, if we're going to sit here and talk about people, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of the big women's movement lately has been the best person for the job. Correct or incorrect?
Oh,
I mean, I guess that's true.
What do you mean you guess that's true?
I mean, I guess.
What you mean? What you mean is fair wage? Are you talking about that? Or
Yeah, 100% fair wage. Where the best person should have the job. So if we're,
I just want you to get to your point.
So if we're sitting here hiring supermodels, what the fuck's that proof? But then secondly, after that, even if supermodels were on this fucking show, the fact of the matter is this: if they don't know the content, it's transparent. You can see through it, and it doesn't matter at that point anyway.
Okay.
It's just a quick bite. You want to? People can sit here and say that, you know what, good on them for selling sex. I will tell you about a personal thing that happened to me. I was driving up to San Francisco with a bunch of cosplayers and a very famous cosplay photographer. And all of these girls had Patreon accounts and were complaining about other women that were doing lewds because they weren't doing lewds. And they sat here and shat on all these other women. And I sat there and I turned to them and I said, but you guys are doing Disney princesses as slave Leia.
Yep.
That's not empowering. They said, well, of course it's empowering because it's a Princess Leia. I said, no, it's called Slave Leia, not fucking Princess Leia. Understand that. All those girls cowered down. The fact of the matter is this. It's very easy to say that sex sells when it works to people's advantage. But when it doesn't, then and other women are making a lot of money, then it becomes a different issue.
Okay. Is a ballerina dancer a dancer?
Yes.
Is a stripper a dancer?
Yes.
They're both dancers, but chances are that stripper is going to be much more well paid than the ballerina.
So is a porn star an actor?
Yeah.
Is an Academy Award winner actor?
Yes.
Same difference.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm not mad about
Yeah,
these
same
people.
that's like saying is a
Genres.
pimp an entrepreneur.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can say this about is a drug dealer an entrepreneur.
Yes.
We can say this about anything, but that doesn't. I understand. There's a gray area here.
I don't have the stance that like cosplay should only be existing in one particular space. Do I think that people that put in a lot of work into their cosplays, should they be recognized? Absolutely. But that's the truth for all technique-based art forms. I mean, there's a reason why people are like, they can appreciate, for example, you can appreciate a hip-hop dancer just because that's more accessible. That translates. I understand what you're doing far more than someone who's like a tap dancer or a ballerina, because I don't understand what you're doing. Okay. So for someone who's like put in a lot of work, and if I don't understand all the intricacies of what you're doing, this is why those people go to cosplay contests, because they are surrounded by people who understand the work and that can adequately go ahead and say like, shit, that's amazing. That's
I don't believe
awesome. What do you mean you don't believe that?
I don't believe that.
Ooh.
I simply don't believe that.
Well, why not?
I'm just saying that, like, you're
example.
talking about audience versus, like, are those people going to be as well regarded, or it depends, because there are going to be, it depends on the audience. Are there going to be people want to see naked women? Like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
and, all right.
Time out. If that were the case, then why didn't the XFL succeed the first time around?
Oh.
Because it's not good football.
Yeah. That's the
What are you
thing.
talking about?
No,
it had the
that's
highest scoring games, more so than the NFL.
Yeah, but the
It
thing
had
is
better
still-
games in the NFL.
But the thing is,
and
still,
it had these exquisite cheerleaders that were just doing all these raunchy things. If you actually go watch the documentary, 30 for 30 about this, you can understand.
What, the XFL?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Go and
we
watch
actually
it.
know someone who was in it.
We do.
I mean, okay, the NFL,
Well, a few people.
that's, okay, I don't think anybody should really compete against the NFL.
Whoa.
The USFL tried, it didn't work out in the 80s, all right, like,
So don't
Well,
do
the
it because
XFL is
it's
going
already
to start
established.
over
Forget
again.
it.
I know,
But,
I don't have a whole lot of faith in it.
but if you look at it for everything that you're saying, the XFL should have succeeded because of everything you're talking about.
No, but then you're talking
as far
about a team. I mean, I don't have enough
WWE
bandwidth.
in the Attitude
I
Era.
don't have enough bandwidth to pick up another football team.
But you do,
I get
though.
what you're saying.
I don't.
No, I get what you're saying.
Me personally.
No, I get what you're saying. There are
Like,
a lot
I'm
of
like,
people that
no,
are that way.
it's enough for me to just keep up with
Let's
the Dallas
talk
Cowboys.
WWE
Like,
in
it's
the
enough.
Attitude Era.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
talk about that. How women were treated a certain way and how they are
Yeah.
now. This is a completely different dynamic. I feel like, and especially then, the ratings were higher. So why not go back to that?
Because now we're in a sponsor-friendly environment.
Yeah, everything is
We
problematic.
might have higher
unless it-
viewership
like-
back in the Attitude Era. I guarantee. Are we making more money now, though, as the WWE? Now that we are now more sponsor friendly, now that we can go ahead and court.
Well, sponsor friendly.
Yeah.
That's the key phrase. So
Can I go to GE?
like-
Can I go to General Mills? Can I go ahead and say like,
Well, they can't
hey,
do that now anyway.
Yeah, well,
But-
you know what I
well,
mean.
yeah,
but
but
like, can
yeah.
I go and say like, hey, would you like to go ahead and sell ad space on
I just-
our program? Like, well, I don't know. You've got naked women. Well, now we don't have naked women. Now we just have female wrestlers that are.
True.
Just feel that there's a huge.
Yeah, Arabia. They're able to actually do something
I'm not
there.
mad about the demand for sexy naked women. I'm not mad about that, and so I'm not going to be mad about people who go ahead and supply that demand.
Can I ask as to why you're not?
I'm just not. I don't know. I guess it's just. I've never felt the
This
need
is
to
just
be,
for a conversation.
Yeah, I've never
This is
felt
just
the
for-
need to be
this is-
puritanical over.
No, I'm not
people's
female shaming her. What I am
sexuality
doing is
or
actually trying to
nudity.
extend a conversation,
No, it's
Daniel.
fine. I don't mind.
The reason
like,
that's why I
yeah.
ask, can I ask? Because it's more of a just building a conversation. There are a lot of people that are like, well, how dare you do such a thing? So I'm
No,
asking so I can
because
get
at
both
the end of the day,
sides.
whatever makes you happy is what makes you happy. If you're going to go ahead and make money by selling lewds, go ahead and make your money selling lewds. If you're going to go ahead and be a porn star, go ahead, make your
Mm-hmm. I would.
money. You're going to go
It's part of the
ahead and
conversation.
do something because there's a demand for it. Absolutely,
I don't-
Joe.
see,
If you wanted
this
to
is
go
where I
ahead
don't-
and replace every single woman on this show with
No,
supermodels,
so but if I
you're not
if I wanted to
going
go
If you
ahead
wanted
and
to,
get
like, I can't be
and,
mad at
and
you
was
for
trafficking
that.
children in for men to have sex with them, is that cool?
No, because
Wait,
that's
wait, wait,
immoral.
but that-
sex is not immoral.
Yeah,
naked
what-
women are not
yeah,
immoral.
naked women are not immoral.
Naked bodies are not immoral. I'm sorry. Like, they're just
Are
not.
drugs immoral?
Not when properly used.
Which drugs?
Thank you. I was just going to say the same
you go.
thing.
No, if I was
That my
if I was
answer.
selling black tar heroin to kids, I mean, I'm making money though, and I need to survive.
Well, to kids.
To
That's the
kids?
problem.
Gives
No.
a fuck.
No,
No,
I would say
I
as an
care.
adult.
Sure, as
because-
adults. So
no, so
that
selling
makes
it to
it
adults.
okay?
Sure.
So selling it to adults.
If-
Are you
I-
fucking kidding me?
No,
Listen
no,
to
no.
the conversation we're having.
No, no,
Really
no,
think
no.
about this for a
No.
second.
I don't know
Because-
enough about heroin to go ahead and say whether or not that's a moral drug. All right, I
Black tar
don't.
heroin.
I don't know.
Black tar heroin
Are you
is
fucking
literally.
kidding me? Listen to what you fucking
Black tar
people are
heroin.
saying.
No, stop. Black tar heroin is literally created out of desperation. These people have chosen to literally probably jettison any bit of what it.
Hey,
takes
sorry,
to be
can't tell to
responsible.
kids. Sell
They
to
can't-
adults, it's okay.
No,
You fucking crazy.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying black tar heroin. No, but the thing is, it's like, okay. Will there ever be a time where they're like, hey, heroin is now just legal? Like marijuana is now legal after forever.
Is heroin going to be legal? No.
No,
can
I don't
pretty
think
much
so. I would
guarantee
think
it's not
no,
gonna be
because
legal.
the
Is
thing is-
cocaine going to be legal? No.
No.
Can almost guarantee
No,
that.
that's the thing, because there is an addictive quality to these
There's
things.
addictive quality
And
to
the
a
thing
lot
is-
of things.
Well,
Coffee's
very
one of them.
true. Very true. But the thing is,
Sugar is another one of
No,
them.
Is
now
alcohol
will you
moral?
leave
I
your
feel like
family?
we're having
Will
a
you leave your
Prohibition era
family? Will you leave your
conversation.
family and actually not work? Not work because of sugar?
dating advice. I did
Well, like,
too,
yeah,
sweetie.
like-
I don't know how this
I
actually
did
turned
too,
into this.
because
You won't leave for sugar.
blaming me?
Yes, we
Yeah,
are.
you did.
I certainly didn't start asking these questions.
Cool. Well, I won't be on the show next week. Then let's see your fucking views plummet.
No. But back to bring it back to cosplay.
Yeah, because that's what makes money. Of course I care about the views.
Bring it back to cosplay. The thing is, still, why is there a great divide when it comes to lewd versus creative? Like, hey, like I'm actually creating this. Like, why is there a divide between, let's make it personal, Kelly versus another cosplayer who's like, bitch, I wore a bikini
Because
and
it's
fucking look at
technique
me.
versus titillation.
Both
Alliteration.
of which aren't cosplay.
But that's it. I was just gonna give that answer.
Huh.
Both are in cosplay.
Yeah.
So
I believe there's room for both. Clearly, the people who are
Okay.
having this argument believe that there's not room
there's
for
not
both.
room for, and that the thing is,
I disagree
you
with that
are
statement.
in a way a cosplayer, yes.
Yeah.
So you feel that no, hey, there is room for both
There's room.
within cosplay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
It's just like there's room
Listen,
for both.
I'm never going to
in-
be that person
in
who supplies
acting.
you guys with lewd cosplay. I'm just not going to be that person. So I'm certainly not going to be mad at the girl who does. Like, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, that's just it. That's
Yeah.
not my thing. Doesn't mean that I'm going to go ahead and shit
Yeah.
on the people that do.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. I mean, my thing is, I don't get the people that choose to shit on the people where it's like, hey, ultimately, in some way, they end up later doing the lewd cosplay. And you're like, yo, so you're doing both. But yet you're shitting on the people that, I never
don't
get
believe
that.
on shitting on people just for what? So that way you can feel fucking better? Like, I don't know. Desert says, okay, I guess I'll be forever alone. No, you won't.
Yeah,
There's
you will.
somebody
You
out
probably
there
will.
for you.
You probably will.
No, there's love out there for you.
Jester, why don't you just be honest with the person that you're interested
Listen,
in and say something to
I
them?
honestly think at the end of the day, what it comes down to is you want to have a very differing opinion on what cosplay is, because I don't think there's
And that's up to you, because it's
not
for
up to me.
That's
It's a defined
personal-
definition of
it's
what
a personal
cosplay- the
philosophy.
definition of cosplay
What
is.
would you
what is the
cosplay
definition
as?
No.
of cosplay?
I mean, we can look up the word cosplay and understand what it means. It means costume play. It doesn't mean
But
lingerie.
you believe that that cosplay fits a very specific definition.
Yes, the definition that it's defined as. Yes, I do
Okay.
believe that.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's what a definition's for.
So you
I
don't feel that there's
feel
any
like-
room? There's any?
If I
room
said
for-
that, hey, you're really, you're parsimonious, that has one definition. It means one thing.
Very true.
right?
Very true.
It doesn't mean like, oh, well, I imagined you thought that's what this meant, so I thought this is what it meant. That's not how words work. I mean,
Yeah, no, that is true.
not
That is
definitions.
true. That's not how words work. I said this, but I meant this.
yeah, that's not definitions. That's not how words work. So cosplay is the same thing. I don't feel that
Yeah, but
like
I'm not going to be hostile about it.
I'm not hostile about it either. But the fact is,
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying that I don't have. It doesn't incite hostility in me.
no. But I feel that like
super chat.
The definition. Oh,
we do have a super chat. By the way, Kelly looked adorable
she
with her
did.
Captain Marvel dress. She
dude!
absolutely
Oh
did.
my
It was a
god!
great
I love
dress.
that. Like, have you seen the overall one that she did?
Yes.
Recently, I am like, yo,
Her
how are
Captain
you guys
Shazam
not?
overall.
Yeah, the Shazam one. How are you guys not heading over to her page and be like, yo, I need this right now?
Because she's not
It's
doing
so dope.
lewds.
Ooh! But there you go. That is my problem. I'm sorry. Maybe it's me, and it's because I know people. I am really getting upset at that. But it's like, well, what do you expect? Sex sells. That's the problem. So it's like, I can't say, hey, you guys, why are you not paying attention to someone who's taking the time to create something that really looks good? Because they're like, well, dude, I'm just on the internet to jack off real quick. Like, it's like, oh, well, then I can't be mad at you. I get what you know.
Like,
your
clearly,
intent.
I'm not the person to be yelling at because I'm on Kelly's
Yeah,
Instagram, so
exactly.
I
But
love her.
that's the definition of cosplay. The practice of dressing up as a character for a movie, book, or video game, especially one from the Japanese genre of manga and anime.
Say porno?
I would say not
porno in
that
there?
especially portion.
But-
No, it doesn't.
But
But that's the
Japanese
definition.
cosplay is different from American.
Exactly. Japanese cosplay is different from American cosplay.
Well-
but that's the definition. That's when you type
Well,
in
that's the
Google.
American definition
See,
of
that's the
cosplay.
problem. So, but with that, still nonetheless, like there are different definitions. You go to Urban Dictionary, you'll get a different one there too.
Anyway.
We can talk about relationships.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
talk about your relationship, Daniel.
I am not really in a relationship, but yeah, let's
talk about yours.
We could talk about it.
Can I say the name?
No, you can't say the name.
No.
Oh, I can. Watch
No, you
this.
can't. Don't. Come on.
Who cares? We're open.
Don't do that.
It's an open thing here.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Let's talk about Nerdbot.
Oh,
What?
God.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Let's talk about we're talking about relationships though. Let's do that.
Okay, when it comes to relationships, here's the question.
Yeah. save
Immediately,
us.
no, yeah,
Try.
immediately when you look into relationships, are you immediately
Mikey.
like once you see someone and you connect in that way? When is a good time to say?
Mikey's only saying that because I'm on this episode. When I'm not on it, it's not worth watching.
I'm so sorry, Al, that we've done this.
Yeah,
to
I'm
your
sorry.
show.
No, yeah, right. But when it comes back to relationships,
Get it
how
back.
long? Yeah, no. How long into a relationship or like even dating are you thinking to yourself?
What?
How long does it take for you to decide, hey, this is really going to be a thing? Let's, like as the old people say, go steady. Let's make it exclusive.
Go steady.
It's more of a feeling thing.
So, is there a time span in which you're like, oh shoot, I haven't done
The older
it
you
right
get, the less you care about that stuff. I
That's
feel like.
very true.
Like
That's
it's
very
such a
true.
stupid.
Do you want like a third date, sixth date kind of
Yeah, I mean,
answer? Or
the older you
I'm
get,
just
the less
asking,
the less that
for
means.
each individual, the answer may be different.
Right? Am I right? The older
Yeah.
you get, the kind of like
I
less.
think
that,
if you're not embarrassed to introduce
Wait.
them to your friends and family, then like,
I don't know about family, but
or like no,
I've been-
just I'm like, yeah, it's just a feeling. Whenever you're just like, yeah, this feels comfortable, this feels good,
Okay.
yeah.
So, what are the tenements as far as this feels comfortable, this feels good for you?
If I immediately just don't go into a cold sweat thinking about introducing them to my core group of friends, because my core group of friends, I have a few like
Is
circles
friends
of
more important
friends.
than family for you?
Yeah, way more.
Interesting.
Way more. But I have especially one group of friends where I'm like, I don't bring anybody to you guys unless I know like we're gonna be together for a good long time. We're gonna move in together and possibly even try to get married. And that's because it's a lot. There's a lot of us. We've been together for like 10, 15 years, so there's a lot of inside jokes. And it's unless you're like ready to get in there and actually like take part in that kind of like environment, you're there have been so many like possible potential boyfriends and girlfriends that have just been like showed up once and have like never been seen again.
What about you?
I want you to read Toku's comment so I can comment on it.
How come Joe keeps avoiding questioning himself and pushing it in others if he's bringing in said views?
Do you understand what that meant? Because that to me
I
that sounded
don't
like a
understand what
fragment.
that means.
Yes, it sounded like a
really-
person on a
I don't
short
really
bus.
get it.
So I don't understand what that meant.
Wow.
Facts.
Okay. But Joe,
learn the English language before you type anything. Maybe you want to put it into.
Kind of read it wrong.
It doesn't. Read it again, Daniel.
how come Joe keeps avoiding questioning himself and pushing it in others if he brings in said views?
What the fuck's that even mean?
That even is worse than the way I read it.
That's worse.
I
He
tried to-
can't even read it properly. Yeah, we don't know what the fuck you said because we don't understand. You obviously
It's the
didn't go to
pushing it in
school
part.
for grammar, apparently.
Wow.
I don't know what the fuck he just said.
Jezzer says girls love introducing me to their family.
Oh, that's interesting. No, but so Joe, what about for you? Is it friends or family that's your
First
your
of all, Toku,
thing?
I have nothing to be scared of. Please come on a show with me. I will fucking rip you a new asshole, just like I did your mom. But,
We're
let's
gonna have an
continue.
after dark maybe with you interviewing Toku. That would be interesting because I think you two would just go on and on. But anyway, that's probably horrible for television.
Well, it's going to take him a long bus ride to get out here, so.
yeah,
let's continue.
But for you, friends or family, which one is the one that's definitive for you to introduce your?
What do you mean definitive?
I'm saying it. For you to introduce your significant other to, like that's where you know it's a relationship. Is it friends or is it family?
I think it's both. Mostly friends, though.
Okay.
Mostly friends. What do you think?
Mostly
Well,
friends.
she
My
said- she
sisters.
said friends.
My sisters are pretty.
So then,
My
well, then
sisters
is
once
it?
thought I was dating you.
What?
My sisters once thought I was dating you. There was something where she was just like, "Are you dating that dickhead Joe?" And I was like, "No." I'm
Oh, yeah.
I love how you just said it so casually. Are you dating that dickhead Joe?
Yeah.
Wow.
They watched one video of you, and I think it was like our very first video, like together, like a whole year ago. And they were like, "Joe keeps."
Oh!
talking." I'm like, "That's just Joe talking
Yeah.
over anybody in
Yeah,
general."
that is true.
But they were just like, "We didn't like him because they're my sisters and they're protective of me." But like,
sorry.
yeah, it's cool.
Hey, Tony's sisters, I don't give a
Shut up!
I don't give up.
Shut up!
They're not watching this.
No,
No,
they
they're
will
not.
be. They will be now. I'll make sure they are. But okay, so for you, it's a combination of both, but heavily more on friends. You said the same thing, friends. Funny enough, with our generation, that seems to be the case, where it's like, okay, you have to pass the friend test,
Yeah.
not the family test, because the family test, there is no such thing. It's really, hey, take what I give you.
My mother
For family.
literally was like, as long as nobody's like hitting you, and I was like, that's how low her bar is, and I was like, that's really all you care. I'm like,
Well,
okay,
because
great.
no, and congratulations to your
and
mom.
my dad has never been that shotgun kind of guy who's just like, I'm not afraid to go to jail for my like. He's never been that guy. He's like, if you're happy, then I'm happy, and like my parents are so fucking laid back about like anything. Like it's just
So
like,
then-
so my friends are far more judgmental than my
So
family.
then this kind of goes back to Jezzer, which has said the whole thing of, hey, people love introducing me into their family. Congratulations, people love introducing you to your family. Do they introduce you to their friends? Because friends are really the family that you choose. Think about that. And with that, the thing is you get to be far more kind
No,
of...
Stephanie forced herself in here when she came in.
No,
watching
hey,
this.
but then at the dinner she didn't. People
She
loved
did.
her. No, but people loved her.
I didn't want to go to dinner with her.
You didn't.
I want this to happen. No, she's great, but
Oh man. So when it comes to relationships, like going back to that 20 versus 30 thing, when it comes to relationships now in your 30s versus relationships in your 20s, do you find it more like it's more casual now in your 30s versus what it was in your 20s?
I think it's easy to filter out the bullshit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I mean, you know the people that you want to hang around with.
So you have a more definitive line that you're like, yo, this is what I will accept, this is what I won't accept?
Listen, there's people out there that we all probably know and that we want to hang out with and we don't want to hang out with them. It's a simple fact. sometimes we have to hang out with them because of the job we have, but other times we don't have to hang out with them when it's off time, and I'm cool with that. But I mean, it's just the way things go, right? You pick the people that you want to hang out with, and the other people you don't.
Well, that brings something interesting. Workplace relationships. I know we've talked about it before.
That life. I've done it here at Hashtag Show, and it was not beneficial.
Now, for you, Tony, because this is your first time on the show, how do you feel about workplace relationships?
Bad idea.
Plus, minus, bad idea? As to
Bad
why?
idea.
Why?
It's a horrible idea. Because
it sounds like you've experienced it.
I have, and I've only experienced it once, and it was not a good time, and it was just, it's just a lot of drama and unnecessary drama.
You want to expand on it, or that's
no?
it?
It's just done. Like a lot of people have that guideline because it's a good idea to not get involved with your coworkers, because at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, you still have to talk to that person, you still have to see them, and then it's like if you guys can't control that timeline of like how much time is too much time to be seeing each other when you don't have a say in like if you can like actually spend time apart and actually like process through everything.
Wait, I have
like
a question for you, because what kind of relationship girl are you? Are you the kind of person that's like, because there's different types of people that are you very clingy, not clingy,
not
like
clingy,
what are you
not
at all?
And I find myself finding people who don't believe me when I say I'm not clingy. And then when they find out, oh, for real, she's not clingy, it's like almost a disappointment to them. Because they expect me.
Okay, let's play a little game. Do you think Daniel's clingy or not clingy?
Do I, like,
that's a good game. That's a good game.
He probably, like, a 6, like...
I don't know what that means. The fuck's that mean?
Like, if 1 is, like, not clingy at all and 10 is, like, super fucking clinger, like, he's probably a 6 or 7.
So like, he's more towards the clingy side
yes,
than not clingy.
more towards the clingy side.
What would you say?
Yeah,
you can be.
No, I can be and I have been, definitely.
Yeah.
I can be and I have been.
That's why I'm like...
With time now, one, I'm if people don't know, I mean, I'm bi and I'm also polyamorous.
And you're polyamorous?
Right? Definitely. So the thing is,
you
as far as being legally, I do. Oh my god, I eat Frosted Flakes and I cut bananas into them, and then I eat it because it's like, oh my god, and the milk is.
I was cool with bi and I was cool with polyamorous. You lost me at
with the bananas in the Frosted Flakes. Daniel, we're not friends anymore. No, but honestly, I'm bi and I'm polyamorous. That's my thing. It's not my thing, but it's how I roll.
Yeah.
But the thing is, and I'm also within the kink community, but that's a different thing.
And also the bunny rabbit. What's a bunny rabbit?
No, I don't. I'm not. No. I don't. No.
The furry community.
I don't yuck anyone's yum. But the thing is,
fuck that man.
Well, that means I don't like shit on your kink. But the thing is, still nonetheless.
God, I can't wait to eat a burrito later.
I am seriously Taco Sinaloa.
No, I'm gonna go to a taco truck. Go ahead.
Oh, you fucking dead. All right. So anyway, moving on with it. When it comes to me and relationships, funny enough, yes, I have been like clingy, but I think now with as much as I know, I'm no longer that person. I may seem that way because it's like, oh, Dano's very connected to emotions and blah 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 yada yada yada. But I am not at this point. I'm not clingy, and to an extent where it's like people that I am intimately entangled with have said that, where it's like, wow, like it seems like sometimes you're not even like when I've said this phrase, which is like, when I'm with you, I'm with you. When I'm not, I'm not. Yeah. Now remember, as I say this to you, I'm saying this to 3, 4, 5 other partners. So you have to understand where that is and where I roll. And this is my life. If you can't, then let me know, and we won't go further. When I say that portion, that's where it's like, people are like, oh my God. Like, wow. Okay, I really thought Daniel was like a clingy guy, but no, it's not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I may not be clingy. I'm quote unquote enlightened, as I say, but I don't feel the way I am. Actually, is some way I don't feel other people should be, because in some ways I slightly compartmentalize, and that's not a good thing. So that's my situation. But on a scale of 1 to 10, when it comes to Tony, do you feel that she's clingy?
No, I would say probably 3.
What about yourself?
I'd agree with that.
Do you feel that has something to do as far as, like, your potential for relationships? Do you feel that can ruin the potential for relationships?
People like to feel needed.
Exactly.
I don't need people.
Exactly.
I
So,
like people. I'd like to have somebody,
So
there,
does-
but I don't need somebody.
does
And
that-
that's jarring to some people.
yeah. So does that make it hard for you to date?
Sometimes. It doesn't make it hard to meet people. It makes it hard to keep the relationship going.
I have a question. So,
Yeah.
are you currently dating anybody?
Multiple people.
Multiple people. How many, if I can ask?
3.
3. How's that all working out?
So far, so good.
Damn. Oh, bravo.
Do I seem like a clingy
Joe?
person?
No, I was gonna say. Now we have to go ahead and evaluate Joe. Does Joe seem like a clingy person?
I want see Joe and I don't really talk a whole
Okay.
lot.
I'm
And
gonna-
I haven't
I'm gonna
seen you
give
in a
you-
minute.
I'm gonna give you something
So
different.
this is hang on.
Oh, Tony.
This is relationship Joe. So I don't know relationship.
Okay, no.
Joe,
So this is the question.
But hang on.
Okay.
So I don't know if Joe is different once he leaves my sight. I don't know
I don't
that.
think I am. Am
So
I?
I don't know if you're a completely
okay,
different
no, this is the
person
question.
once
I
you
only
close
am
the front door.
right now.
Yes.
Okay, with relationship Joe, the
Yeah.
question is now: is he clingy?
Date Joe.
Or is he date Joe, as we call him? There's date Joe. Oh my God, there's another Joe that we'll talk about often. There's a phrase that someone, cool handle name,
Wait, what's
actually
your name?
gave him a name, and it's
What was
like,
it?
yo, that is on point.
What was it?
Yo, I can't.
Say it. Just say it.
Dad joke.
Oh, Dad joke.
Yeah, so there you go. So the thing is with
He
that,
did, he
so the
did.
question is,
He
it's
had, like,
okay,
videos and
yeah,
everything.
exactly. So the question is, there may be like a person that's clingy, but then also is there a person that's needy? Are those two different things?
To me, they are synonymous. I think if there's someone who likes to be a little more deferential to their partner and likes to be taken care of, I think that's different from clingy and needy. Because clingy and needy is when you're just like, it's like active and you're
right.
cloying and it's become a negative, annoying thing.
So Joe, last question for you.
I'm not clingy.
Okay, no,
I don't
okay,
think you're clingy.
Great. You're not clingy. You're not needy.
I
right?
think he's probably softer once he's like
Yeah,
in the
that's
privacy
no,
in his
100%.
in his own home.
That's 100%. That's
Yeah.
fact. Yeah,
That is complete.
Yeah.
That's why I
Actually,
said.
I think
that's
a lot
the thing
of
I
people
said.
are, though.
One of the
It's
biggest
like,
complaints
if
I have
if you're
about
comfortable
off-air.
with somebody,
One of the
Yeah.
biggest complaints I have currently.
Shoes, for God's sakes, let you know. Let you know he's softer.
One of the biggest complaints I do get though a lot
He's
is
wearing them.
honestly, she tells me this all the time. You're not a soft guy though. I'm not, and I'm not.
No, you're not soft in public.
I'm not soft ever. I take that
Can I
back.
see your shoes again?
No, that's fine.
Softer?
I thought of myself as softer
Okay.
actually, but there's one.
So she
Is there a
doesn't
difference
interpret it.
between
No.
the way that you
There's
feel inside
there's
and what
there's
happens
there's one
to
thing.
people?
There's one thing that I think that like I didn't realize. Yeah, listen, arguments happen. We've had arguments.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's something because she had forewarned me that she's like, listen, I cut deep when I argue, and I understand that. But she was like, she was like, I never thought that you would. And the thing is, I never thought that I did, but I didn't realize how quick-witted my mouth is.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
and how that kind of plays into things. Because I never thought of that as being a bad thing.
Is that you?
He's
trying,
made me cry.
But is that you trying to like make the
No.
deep cut, or is that just you just
That's
happen
me.
to walking into
That's
it?
literally me
Because that
being
happens.
me. It's literally me using my verbal skills
Yeah.
in order to say what I need to say. And
Sure.
and in my head, it's more so of like, this is the way that I think about it, this is the way I lay it out.
Yeah.
And this is the way it should be. But then somebody hearing that is completely honest and harsh as it is.
Yeah.
It's very hard for people to take.
So have you
Yeah.
ever thought about putting like a filter? Because
No,
the thing is,
I
like
never-
I said,
I never thought I
we've-
needed one.
We've
So-
had one. We had a conversation once. Do you remember that time?
Now,
in
when I
front of
smack
George's
the
house?
burger out of your head?
Was that it?
Yeah.
What, at George's where
Yeah,
I
when I
cried?
smacked the burger. No.
No,
I
no.
smacked
At
the
smacked
burger out of
the
your head.
burger
No,
out of his
no, he
hand?
smacked a burger on my hand. I was pissed. He took my phone and tossed it across the
Yeah, I
room.
did do
Made
that.
me feel like shit.
No,
And we
that
had a
wasn't bad.
conversation
That wasn't
about it.
terrible.
No, it wasn't. No, the thing that we had a conversation. I forgot what it was at George's house, and it was right in front of his house. And I was like, "Dude, you fucking cut me."
I don't
right
remember- no, I
there.
remember that.
And I cried, and George was like, "Shit." Like I never realized how close you guys were until that moment.
I remember
But
that.
it was like after that he hasn't done it again, right? But the thing is, it was like that's the thing with Joe. Joe,
I don't understand
it's
how
a rapier
strong
wit.
words are.
It's a no.
I don't
see,
understand
that's
how
the
strong
thing.
my words
He
are.
doesn't. He has a rapier wit, and he
I-
doesn't. He doesn't sheath it. he automatically.
I'm Smack Talker Skywalker with my mic saber. What do you want me to say?
There you go.
Well, no, I kind of fall into not the same thing, but a similar thing where it's like I can see exactly what will be the worst thing to say to somebody. And I once said it to someone, and then they thought I was being truthful, and I was like, I didn't say it because that's what I actually thought. I said it because I knew it would hurt the most because you weren't snapping out of it and actually talking to me. You were just arguing with me. And then we had a thing where we had to like go ahead and like have this basically argument of like, is that what you really meant? Like, no, it's not what I really meant. I just know that would fuck with your brain the most.
But the problem
and, like,
is
actually jolt you out of like you in your fury.
So for my
the problem is you
ex-girlfriend,
did, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
The problem is you did though.
No,
You knew it.
It's
No.
a tactical decision. It's not an honest one.
Well, see, the thing is, it's tactical, but the thing is, you're basing what you have as far as your, you know, hey, I'm gonna pull this out of my utility belt. You knew this would be the thing to hurt them.
Sure.
So the thing is, usually the thing that hurts someone
But
the
that's
most
not what I
is the
believe, and
truth.
that's not what I actually think. I made it as a tactical decision. I said that.
See,
It's like, okay, we're having
Like, okay,
conversation.
for
you
I
go,
get it. I get it. It makes sense
Like,
to me.
okay, like if I were to say, like, if I knew, like, Joe, like, you know, the worst thing you could say to him was, like, you know, like, oh, Joe, you're ugly. Do I think Joe is ugly?
because I'm
Like,
beautiful.
No, 'cause
but you know
but,
that
like,
would kill him.
But exactly.
Right,
would kill him.
But
That would
if
kill
in this
him.
hypothetical insecure Joe, if I knew the
Right.
thing to say was like, Joe, you're ugly, and that would like destroy him, like, okay, I said that, but now I have to go and explain to Joe, like, I don't actually think,
I don't
you're,
think you're
ugly.
ugly.
I just made a tactical decision because
Okay,
I had
alright,
to make
fine.
it.
All right, okay. For me,
So,
I'm a person
yeah.
that like
That
I
got
get
me in
it.
trouble.
I
get it.
hold
Yeah,
on
that
to
gets me in
dozen
trouble.
shit like for years. I know.
I'm the same way.
I
I'm the
know
same way,
what
actually.
tears someone. I am Batman. When I
Yeah,
first meet
I got
someone,
the files.
when I first meet someone, I
got 'em.
I chit chat, I have a conversation,
backup.
I figure out what is going to tear you apart, and I will hold on to it, but I'll never use it.
So
I
for
have
me-
files,
For me,
like
it's
you
the
know, like
simplest thing.
that.
I got into an argument with my ex-girlfriend. She was going on and on and on. And I just turned to her and I said, "You're not a good person." And I left the car. And then that was it. She fucking flipped out. And I was like, literally, that's all it took is you are not a good person.
But Joe,
that is
Never been
agreed,
seen or heard
agreed or
from
not,
again.
agreed or not, that is something that you can use for almost any woman.
You can use it for anybody, like any.
No,
person.
because
Like,
no, women do have a thing about being like, I am a good person.
I know I'm not like. See,
But if someone
Because everybody
literally-
told me
if
that,
someone
you're
literally-
not a good person.
No,
Like,
no,
I-
guys
I
don't
get
care.
it.
Like,
But
yeah,
if someone that's close to
I
you
got it.
and says, you know what, Tony, honestly, all this stuff that we go through, all these problems that we have, all these arguments,
yes.
I figured out that you're not a good person.
Correct.
If this is then
glad you've caught up.
No. But would that like a
Yeah.
person that you're dating says that and they're like, I never
Okay,
realized
well
it
then
until
I
now.
guess this person has absolute shit taste, and I don't need to talk to them anymore.
So automatically you're like, yo, I am a good person.
Well, either
you're
they've
an
gone ahead
idiot.
and caught up, and it's like, all right, then we clearly have nothing else to discuss because you figured it out. I'm not a good person, or you really do have shit taste, and I actually am a wonderful person, and you think, and you're so horribly wrong that I don't have anything else to say to you. Like,
Oh my god!
no, same destination, man.
I
Like,
think we've gone as far as we can go. We're literally
we can go a
in
little bit
space right
further.
now.
So-
we're literally in space. I think we've gone as far as we can go.
You,
guys.
hold on, I have a question. So I know I'm with you on that because I
Yeah.
feel that like saying things strategically and
Yeah.
saying things out of your heart is they're
Yeah.
completely different things. Which one are you?
As far as like what?
I'm a guy that says things that I don't. I know you do, but I don't plan what I'm gonna say. I just say it.
yeah.
But I say it in such an intelligent way. This is legit
okay,
truth.
Yeah.
You Fraser
I do.
that shit?
I do.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah,
stop.
right?
I will
Yes! Yes!
literally ask.
This bitch just.
Frasier. Like, yeah,
you
no,
just
the
insult
Frasier
me.
shit.
Literally ask
like,
my girlfriend right
is
now.
that
I'll
an assault
stop and I'll be
or-
like, hold on, I gotta compose my thought, and then I'll say it, and she's like, fuck, like I'll do it in a way where it's like,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this mean or is
That
this
actually is
dick
Joe.
or-
When Joe,
I understand
when
that
when
completely.
Joe
You can't
says,
insult
when
me.
Joe says, "Wow," that's him composing.
Now, sometimes I'll fuck
no,
around.
because
so
that's
like
true.
if a girl's like,
Oh my
if a
God.
if a girl's like, hey, like she'll come down and she'll wear a certain like outfit or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go, as a joke, I'll go, is that what you're gonna wear? And she'll be like, yeah, and I would go, huh. And then-
Yes. Okay.
all
No,
good.
the thing is, and Joe rubs off on people
Is that a
because
date
Jasmine.
you're saying that to?
yeah.
No, this is a girlfriend Joe saying it to.
Oh, well, that's fine.
No, but Joe rubs off on people because Jezzer has now become that person. There's a moment where I walked in wearing joggers, and Jezzer goes, "Huh." That's how he starts his sentence to me. He goes, "Huh, you look comfortable," and I was like, "Fuck you!" Like, I know what that means. You don't like what I am wearing on me.
Comfy.
No. You understand the kind of undercutting that went with it.
Oh, I just
and I was
love
like,
how you
so
wear
Jezzer,
anything.
No. Oh, that's fucked up. Goddamn. That's that hashtag Southern Belle insults.
I just love how you just wear anything. You can just pull anything off.
No, that Kiki Palmer does, where she's like, "Oh, sweetie," like she has the fucking
bless your
fan.
heart.
Yeah, she goes, "Oh, sweetie." I love how you just put anything on, and you're like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah.
Like that's what Jezzer did. He
By the
learned
way,
that from this guy.
Matthew Thompson said that Blackwing Tony called Joe ugly. That's what you missed. That's true. It's almost called.
Oh yeah, Blackwing is automatically. Blackwing's compiling this.
It's almost like calling Matthew Thompson an actor. But
hey, whoa! He sent us his Cajun accent.
let me. Oh yeah, I saw that. So let me just say this.
Oh shit!
Let me just say this.
One day we should play that on air because it was so good.
Listen, I'll be honest with you right now. All of you fans out there, I'm going to tell you why you're going to say a lot less of me because me and Jesse don't give a fuck.
It's true. Honestly,
oh shit!
if you guys don't believe it, watch the Power Rangers show. They don't. I'm the only one there that's literally caring still. I don't feel that they are even here anymore.
Jezzer, shut up, Jezzer. You and me, but listen, we did.
Hey, yo.
Get the fuck out of here.
Whoa, fuck it. Oh, really? Because I care? I'm not in?
Jezzer,
fuck you.
Jezzer, listen to me. You and me, brother. We had a long talk about this over in Chicago. Listen,
oh my God.
Honestly, and you're going to realize this too, Tony. Is that some of the people in our chat? They're great. Some of them are great. Some of them are complete
Black
dickheads.
He's not compiling anything.
Some of them are complete dickheads. 100%. But
you're not. I know.
No, some of them. Fact of the matter is this, Tony.
Yes.
Is that they're so demanding of us, and I feel like to me, I'm cool with it. I was cool with it. But you know how it gets. They get so demanding of us, not just on this, but like on our social media. Hey, do this.
There's a particular person.
Monkey.
There's a particular person, TF, and they literally go hard on the whole. Do this, do that, do this, do that. Are you guys shooting today? Or is this happening? Blah blah. I'm like, why don't you look at the YouTube channel? I don't know. Like, you have to think about it. I'm talent. I'm not a producer. One. I'm not an executive for this company, so I don't exactly. So I don't know. Reach out to the executive, but the problem is
don't point at me. Don't give my email address.
The problem is the executive won't answer you, so I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know. Hey, maybe we should create a structure and actually set things up. But
back to this relationship thing. Let's close this out.
Yeah, because we've been at
it. I tried to earlier. I said, "Hey guys,"
but Tony, because I feel like your relationship's more unique than the rest of ours.
I'm pretty much
relationships.
Yeah,
I should say are more unique than the rest of ours. Who's winning?
Who's winning? There's no winning.
There's 3 people. Who's winning?
There's no winning.
Who's winning?
Who's winning?
There's no winning.
Tony's winning.
Listen,
Tony's winning.
I am. I'm happy.
So wait, do you consider yourself?
Are all three super cool with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be.
Well, I mean.
Yeah.
They have to be, and they are 2 different things.
They are.
You know for a fact.
But that's what they tell me.
All right.
I'm the only child. I don't share.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
So
cool. I come from a family of 40, and they call me girl.
So would you be cool with them doing the same thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%. All right.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
So then, Tony, okay,
be
honestly,
logical, be safe. Like it's like,
I don't know. Yep.
So then, Tony, honestly, being direct with you, are you polyamorous?
Yeah.
That is.
It's new.
You like it?
Yeah, so far so good. I'm loving it.
Oh my God,
Have
we
any of the
need
guys
her for
met?
next week.
No.
We need you for next week.
Would you let them meet?
Let them meet? I mean, I don't know. That just seems.
No, that is poly. There's
I
an
wouldn't
option.
stop them.
There's
Why
an
is it
option-
problematic if
there's-
everyone's
Yeah,
cool
no.
with it,
Stop
though?
them.
I
Well, see,
understand.
because Tony, that's the thing. Because there's like
Yeah.
options when it comes to polyamorous.
Yeah.
There's a triad, there's a quad. You know, and then there's the V, which is the option where it's like you happen to be the one person.
That's pretty much
connected
what's
to two.
happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
so oh my God, there's a question next week that we are going to address.
Oh,
Unless Joe shows up.
No, I'm not gonna.
That's very true. Unless Joe shows up,
I won't be here.
You won't.
Yeah, let your views plummet. I won't be here.
cool.
You're a dick.
I'll go. We'll make sure.
Okay, you know what? Okay, even though you're not here, could you do me a huge favor? And
I'll be
promo
here
it?
on the shows. They need me.
Hey
there.
Tony, what are you doing next week? Do you want to show up?
Maybe.
If Joe's not going to be here, we're going to have an extra chair.
If
Do you
Joe's
wanna
not
show
here,
up?
would you show?
Well, Joe just said he's not going to.
I mean,
so is there another
talk
chair?
About this after?
Fine, we'll talk about it after. Anyway, guys, expect Tony, Elle, and myself here next week. It's been great speaking to you. Yeah, I'm just gonna put her in, and she's gonna be upset with me. But
Okay.
fine. That's why I just no. What I told you. Remember, you have to. And then the flex. Yeah, and then the flex. Yes! That's it! There you go. You just made Shay happy, man. You just made Shay happy,
asking him
man.
to flex.
So,
Turning
I'm...
you on. Turning you on a little bit.
I'm Battlestar
You're very
Blacksgood.
ugly.
Joe is...
You're
Tony
just-
Stark.
Tony Stark.
Okay, that hashtag Joe, and Tony is the Tony Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you can find us on social media, on every bit of social media. You can tune in here to that hashtag show to find us here on Quest for Player 2 and a lot of other shows. I've talked to you about some stuff. So with that being the case, once again, thank you guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And you're lucky I'm even here this week.
We are.
Very
we are.
lucky.
Dude, you
The
are now.
luckiest
You
of
are now
luckiest.
like the Rock to this show. Like
No, it's not just this a hashtag show in general.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. So once again,
You'll be lucky to even see me Saturdays, you fucking peons.
we're gonna stop you. Once again, thank you. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to keep up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.
Oh, and geek pop culture.
That thing.
Wow, he's not even here today. Thank you guys.